in March Madness is definitely like for me top tier sporting events. Yeah. Right. What's some of y'all favorite March Madness moments? I say Gordon Hayward, his run at Butler was definitely
was a heave away from a national championship.
What's the name? Mario Chalmers shot for KU.
Yeah.
When I remember being in 6th grade when that happened. 2008 versus Derrick Rose in the Memphis.
I remember Derrick Rose and Chris Douglas Roberts missing like 16 free throws down the stretch.
Yeah.
And losing that game. Everybody remembers that shot, but they missed 20 free throws before Mario made that shot.
Yeah. Even last year, DJ Burns busting onto the scene was fire.
Yeah, he was
big man. Yeah. So there's always somebody that comes out in this season. I think one of the other games I had was UNC versus, was it Nova?
Chris Jenkins hit the game
winner
at the top of the key.
Yeah, fire, yeah. So that was a good day because UNC hit the go ahead and then they came down and hit
that shot was insane. That Marcus Page hit.
Yeah. So I think those are some of my favorites, some of y'all favorites.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, again, KU New Orleans is always going to be top for me just because I was there and that whole, like, didn't sleep that entire day and was definitely kicking it that entire week in New Orleans. If you know, you know. But, man, there's so many of them, right? I mean, even some Wichita State's runs was cool. Yeah. Like, I remember we was in elementary school and we was like watching the games in class. Like, that's how much, like, that run got everything excited. Like, the first one, you know, even Mark Turgeon, I'll probably say that Sweet 16 run.
That Sweet 16, they lost to George Madison?
George Mason. Yeah, everybody was like, okay, this team is kind of cool. And then, of course, you had the lull, then Marshall come, and then you have the runs that he went on. It's like, damn, they beat KU, like stuff like that. I've loved watching some of the K-State runs, obviously. Those were when I was in school, and we've been a game away from the damn Final Four. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we couldn't get past Sister Jean and her homies, but that was to go to the Final Four. And Cam will say to this day, because he was the drumming on the team, and he nobody hurts more than Cam because he was there to be kicking it at the Final Four.
Cam, one of those fans said he feel deeply about
because he would have went. It would have been drumming as a free trip.
It was also the confidence too, because we
just beat Kentucky.
Yeah, and we got on paper it's an easier team. Yeah, Chicago.
All right. Until Clayton Custer went crazy on them boys.
Clayton.
Kansas
City,
Kansas.
But yeah, March Madness is cool. It's where it's at. It's one of the best sporting events. And you see Buddy from McNeese with the NIL deal now. Oracon.
Managers get NIL deals. Yeah, he got $100,000 NIL deal for being a manager.
To walk out with that damn boombox.
And he hit the portal.
Yeah,
he hit the portal. He going to NC State with the coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Shit, crazy, man.
That's actually hilarious.
That's crazy. Yeah.
6 figures to full towels. You know, you might have to pack the travel bag, get everybody's shoes and stuff. But you there's so many managers, you probably the head manager, and to make 6 figures.
Off of NIL
off
deal.
Of walking
Shout out to him.
Well, that's tight though.
Yeah.
That's tight. Under Armour flew out, had him a custom sweatsuit.
I'm not hating.
I'm hating. I'm hating.
Yeah, he getting a lot.
Me. I'm hating.
He put that. I'm not gonna say they deserve to lose because of that, but you definitely got. I mean, it was coming. Crazy. People, it was coming. Yeah. You doing all that for your manager, nigga. Y'all niggas need to play better. He ain't lacing up his shit. They gave him a suit. Why come the players ain't get shit? They lost.
Had his name on it and gold.
And these niggas and the players lost. They ain't got nothing.
BTA.
The Cowboys, McNeese Cowboys.
What's some of your favorite March Madness moments?
Braxton kind of just went over it real quick, but I thought, and just being from Kansas, I'm from Ohio. I'm born in Ohio, but I'm from Kansas. But the Wichita State versus KU game, and there was a lot of people that went to my high school that was involved. I say a lot of people. There was 2 guys that was involved in that game that went to Heights High School. It was kind of like a big brother, little brother situation, honestly. That's how I took it as. And I remember for years and years and years, and y'all know this too, that KU fans shit on Wichita State fans. You know, little brother, they never beat us. You're not no good. All this stuff, and they showed up. They played a game, and both teams at their apex, and Wichita State beat them.
Yeah,
I thought that was. I watched that at Buffalo Wild Wings, Cam's Buffalo Wild Wings in Manhattan. Okay. I thought that was awesome. Also, Ohio State, they lost that final or that Elite Eight game to Wichita State.
Yeah, I was in. I was in old Chicago watching the game in Ohio State gear, and everybody else is in WSU shit.
Yeah, that was a hard loss. And then a couple years before that, we was in the Final Four versus Kansas and Jeff Whiffy, and they beat us in the Final Four.
That's a name I heard in a minute.
Long time. Jeff Whiffy's a pretty decent
college player.
Who's your favorite Ohio State basketball player?
Probably Jared Sullinger. He's from Northland. My cousin went to Northland High School in Columbus. So I'll say Jared Sullinger for sure.
You not fucking with Aaron Craft?
Aaron Craft was really good.
That was my favorite. I mean, he's not the best, but he definitely carried for the time span he was there. He was like the first,
as a freshman,
right? The first 5-year senior. Everybody, he was like, you know how everybody Perry was in school for 10 years. You know, they pulled the same car with him, so he definitely carried us through some time.
Well, people say that whenever you're good enough to play as a freshman.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because not all freshmen get to play.
Yeah. Do you have are you a K-State fan? Would you say,
bro?
Basketball?
Actually, it's crazy. I actually grew up a KU fan. I was a diehard KU fan, but then when Roy Williams left with North Carolina, I thought that was the craziest thing in the world. I remember crying because Carmelo. No, it wasn't Carmelo. Yeah, it was Melo. Beat them in 2003.
Yeah,
and I was so hurt. Well, no, because who lost to Illinois? Somebody lost to Illinois, maybe, but it must have been Carmelo that year. I remember Carmelo.
Illinois, I know they played North Carolina in the championship.
Maybe that was
Williams' first championship in North Carolina.
And D. Brown fucked them up.
Darren Williams.
Yeah, all those guys. So it was, I remember when Carmelo beat KU, because it was Kirk Heinrich and all those guys, and I was hurt, bro. I was in like 4th grade, mad.
Cole Aldridge on that team?
No way. way before it. But, but then when Roy Williams left, I liked North Carolina. And so I just always kind of rocked North Carolina since then. So I don't really, it's not like football where I know, but like basketball, I got a couple that I.
You got, who's some of your favorite college players you've seen?
Oh, man. Obviously, Michael Beasley was a dog.
Bucket,
trash man. He used to just get everything around the offensive board and just put it back up.
But get buckets too.
Yeah, he was crazy. Tyler Hansborough was one that I really liked. Psycho T was crazy. But then you go Aaron Miles was one at KU. J.R. Giddens was one at KU too before he went to New Mexico. So yeah, college hoops was definitely. And then Matt Breyer, Wichita State, I thought he was the coldest dude.
You know who was Anthony Early, Cole.
Yeah.
Clancy Early, dog.
Jacob Pullen.
Carl Hall.
Jacob Pullen, Cole.
Yeah, bro.
Shelvin Mack.
What about, what's the name had a cold year? Buddy Hield?
Oh,
his run at Oklahoma. They had him and Perry had a crazy game at KU that one night. They both went for
double
they went for I feel like they went for 80 combined or some shit like that. Them niggas, they was definitely hooping that night.
Another note for NCAA, a team that I don't like because they stole it from us, but Florida 06-07 team gotta be noteworthy. Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah, Al Horford.
How do you get all them players on one team?
I don't know, and then get them to come back and not take money.
Because Chandler Parsons was on one of them teams, wasn't he?
Possibly.
Chandler Parsons was on one of them teams.
He might have been a freshman on the second year, maybe something like that.
So you get all them NBA players on one team. It's crazy. Kentucky had all those players, and we see Calipari. They advance it now and they play it now. But he didn't have all them players, and he only got one championship out of that Kentucky run. But you only get out. Then I also feel like you got them for 1 year. You got a whole bunch of freshmen all the time. It's hard to build that chemistry to win. Most of the time, the older teams win.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He didn't have so much talent though to come to that school.
And now he's doing it in Arkansas.
Now you see Arkansas winning, and KU get bounced out in the first round.
He was supposed to be, and I just now realized this today because I guess the Ohio State fans are livid, but he wanted to come to Ohio State over Arkansas.
Really?
He wanted to coach for Ohio State basketball, and they wouldn't pay him.
Yeah, I never knew that. I didn't even know.
Niggas is Buckeye Twitter is up and
we probably could have got Bryce if that happened.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, a lot probably could have happened, but I mean, missed opportunities.
Yeah. With KU's first round exit, what do y'all think of? How are we feeling about KU right now?
I remember the last time I seen them this shitty was when it was that same year with Michael Beasley, David Davidson with Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lost to Iowa North or Northern Iowa or Iowa.
Ali Farouk.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people don't remember that, but
Crazy
I do.
pool.
Yeah. And this feels like that year. People, this is not the worst KU team that they ever had because they made the tournament, had a chance, but they got a down year.
Yeah.
They paid a lot of money for that team, though.
Well, them transfers, I mean, shit. They give Ohio State football so much shit about that, man. You bring them transfers in, it's still about the culture.
That's the thing, and that's the thing. Like they are the other side of it. You spent, Dickinson was getting paid, and then Store was getting some bread to come there. Mayo, all these guys that they get, the big man. Yeah, you're thinking on paper, this team when they were preseason number one, they were preseason number one for a reason.
Church.
They didn't perform, and that's just what it comes down to. And it kind of goes to show. I think we're seeing right now, especially in the tournament, like you are seeing. We didn't see that many upsets this year. I mean, there was no way a 116 was going to happen. That was because NIL. Like you're not the 116 upset. To me,
if there was somebody that was good enough on the 16, they would be on one of the
right.
seeds.
There's the gap is just wider now at that. Now we're seeing some more competitive games that we're going further, so maybe it'll get more interesting. But we haven't seen that many upsets. And I think part of it is because the gap there is because you have guys who are like, I'm about to come play for this cash now.
Church.
Like let's do something. But KU's the anomaly. They stunk the house up this year, and I don't know. You got to look at it, and you start over next year. Those guys are gone. Hunter Dickinson's gone. DeJuan Harris is gone. Zeke Mayo.
And not to put a name to it, but DeJuan Harris, he was on the national championship team. He was a freshman, right?
He was like a sophomore, I think. He was a point guard. He started.
He was a starter. He never really developed into the
He
next
9
step.
points a game.
Yeah. He never took the next step. You need good guards to win in March.
I think KU's biggest downfall is they didn't have a guy, right? They didn't have somebody where like, okay, we down 4 with a minute left. Yeah. I know where I'm going. You look at all those championship teams, right? They had Ochai. You look at even CB. You had Jalen Wilson. You had Frank. You had Wayne. You had all these guys, Perry. You had guys who, crunch time, I know I got to get a bucket. This is where I'm going. And nobody had that role. And so when you do a guy like a DeJuan Harris, who to me, who has always been like a floor general, like he's great when he can set up because somebody said there was games when he would get 6 points but have like 12 dimes. Yeah. And that's the kind of player he was. And then you turn around, okay, you're the old guy now, you got to go score. And he's like, whoa, why me? And then Kendrick Adams is never an offensive liability or threat. Let's be for real. Like he was, he's a Draymond archetype, with a lot more athletic, but offensively, they didn't have somebody who was like, imagine if Caleb Love or somebody like that caliber of player was on that KU roster, right? It makes them look a lot different.
Yeah, even though Seth was saying like they didn't went to the drawing board with the transfer portal and they haven't got people who fit the structure of what they're trying to build.
Yeah.
Then they got people who like they seem good on paper or whatever, but when they get them in the building, it doesn't fit what they're trying to do. So yeah, it's back to I'm not a KU fan. I like to see KU do bad. So
Me too.
I don't give a fuck. But I do feel like, when they get what round they get bounced last year? Not first round. I feel like they've let down a couple years in a row. I feel like Bill Self. I mean, you got that not lifetime contract, but shit, damn near.
I feel like they either win it or it's a letdown.
Right.
They'll
never get to like the Final Four.
Yeah, they're not like Duke.
Well, they got to.
And I don't like Duke either. But
they got to that Final Four and got thrashed on by the Nova boys that one year.
Oh, but that year Nova smoked everybody. Yeah. Nobody was beating Nova.
They couldn't miss. But yeah. March Madness is definitely one of the best times of the year. So we talked about Bronny last week. He came out and had his career high 17 points.
He did. Bronny, I apologize. I didn't recognize your game.
17 points.
No, he had the 40 and the G.
Yeah,
that's what I say. He's capable.
He's getting better.
Yeah, it's confidence at this point.
But I like the clips. Definitely was like okay. He felt like he pulling up. He got hitting pull up threes. Getting to the rack. Okay.
He don't take bad shots, which is good.
He can't though.
Yeah,
he not this time. He can't.
At least not long.
Yeah, JJ Redick would definitely pull his ass right out there quick.
And that's good because he need to coach him. He need to be able to coach him and not just have. Now that's what I would have a problem with if LeBron was like telling the Lakers, you need to do this, that, and the third for my son. giving him the opportunity is one thing, but like trying to make sure he gets shit that he not supposed to is completely different.